Hello, we are the Wandering Frontier, and today we are making our way to northwestern Pennsylvania into Maurice K. Goddard State Park. And at the moment, we are about to do the Falling Run Nature Trail. Let's get to it. Now, we did actually speak with one of the people who works here, and they said that the archaeologist who works at this park believes that the springhouse, oh, I just gave it away. They believe that the ruins here could have potentially been a springhouse. Now, the other theory was that, they said people could have lived here, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that was the other theory, but judging by how flooded this is right now, I'm going to go with that springhouse theory. Because I don't think a house would ever look like this. Okay, so we have come to the loop. One thing to keep in mind, they want you to start off going this way. Now you can see right over here where the loop connects, but I'm assuming they did this for a reason. At least I hope so.
I can definitely see the lake through the trees.
Yeah, you can kind of see the lake right through here too, that little bit of blue down there. It looks really pretty. And I guess we'll get to save the best for last. I gotta say, I am already really loving this trail. At the moment, we are currently under a canopy of evergreen trees. And now we actually just did a trail 2 days ago at Maurice State Park, and there was quite a bit of green there too. However, it wasn't nearly as green as this. Like, this looks so vibrant and lush, and keep in mind, it's early March right now, so everything else is still dead. So this is just amazing. You know, I thought while I'm walking here, I might as well tell you a little bit of the history about this park. So, there actually isn't too much, but from what we do know, around the area where there's the visitor center on the lake, they found many Indian artifacts. And they also found them a little bit further down the lake as well, about 6 miles down. However, that could potentially raise some questions about that ruins that we saw earlier and why there's no known history about it. Was it made by European travelers, or was it made by Native Americans who used to live here long ago? Nobody really knows. You know, as I'm walking through this forest of lush evergreen trees, I'm reminded of Cook State Park, which is not very far from here. I'm guessing it's maybe 45-30 minutes away. And the entire park, I'm pretty sure it's known as the last old growth forest in Pennsylvania. And it is beautiful. Like, it is completely evergreen trees for the most part, and they're even thicker than these. So they are the last old growth trees in all of Pennsylvania. And it's just amazing. You know, I kind of have been thinking, well, Pennsylvania has an old growth forest. Obviously, all of Pennsylvania used to look like that until the lumber industry came in and tore it all down. But what other states also have an old growth forest? Does New York have one? Does Virginia have an old growth forest? I'm not really sure. Oh, you know, I think this leads to the other side of the parking lot that we were on earlier. Okay, this is kind of cool. Yeah, I think this is going to lead us to a boat launch. Okay, we are finishing up this trail here, the Falling Run Trail, and now we are going to do our rating of it. So, what would you give this trail out of 10?
I think I'd give it a 6.5 to 6.75 out of 10.
6.75, that is very specific.
It's because I feel bad putting it above Moraine.
Especially after you called Moraine a prettier lake.
It is a prettier lake. So, it's between those two. I feel like Moraine, I would feel bad putting it above Moraine, but it's up there.
Honestly, I would probably give this trail like a 7.75. The experience on it was amazing, and the natural beauty was also really good. So I guess honestly, my experience on this little trail here, on this very little unknown park in PA, at least I think it's unknown, I actually prefer this over New River Gorge in West Virginia.
For New River Gorge.
I know, not saying that the views are bad, but the experience here is better, especially because there was like no one else out on the trail today. There was also more variability in the elevation, which I really liked. There was more incline and decline and
There was
stuff.
a lot of greenery too.
Oh yeah, this was really fun. Okay, now what was your favorite part about this trail?
The falls or the creek that we passed, I would say that was my favorite. That I've never seen anything that looks like so sharp and yet so flat at the same time.
I would have to agree. I think that was my favorite part too. I think that's the highlight of this trail. However, I would say it reminds me of one other place around here, and that place is none other than McConnell's Mill State Park. McConnell's Mill State Park is just this on steroids. It's
Way
much more
more
extreme.
rockier.
Yeah, it's a lot rockier, but what you find back near the stream over there is exactly like McConnell's Mill. It has these really big boulders on the side of the stream, and also has much more extreme waterfalls at McConnell's Mill. Now, what did you dislike about this trail?
I don't really think I disliked that much. I can't think of anything other than the fact that like when we went off the trail to go check out the lake, there was a very large pile of dung. I don't know if there was a horse there or what. That was way too much for a dog. I guess the lake itself would be a low, but you know, it's not that bad. But if I had to pick something, it would be that. But there really wasn't a lot that I could say I disliked about this trail.
I am going to one-up you and say something amazing.
Okay.
The thing I dislike about this trail is that it wasn't big enough. This trail was so good that I wish it was at least an additional 2 miles. This trail, I think it was like 0.9 miles, maybe 0.8 something. It is very short, but it is incredible. If this trail was like 2-3 miles longer, I would probably give this trail like an 8 out of 10 to like an 8.25. So now we're actually going to check out some of the trails around the lake. They're a bit more paved and a bit easier. We'll see if they can hold up to this. Okay, so we just finished driving up to launch area number 1, and fair warning again, it is a terrible drive. You're on this really rocky, gravelly road, and you can't drive any more than like 15 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, and there's a whole ton of potholes too. It's just really annoying, and I would say it probably took to get to launch area number 1 about 15 minutes, somewhere around 12 to 15 minutes to drive here. So I'm a little surprised right now. We were told that this was mostly a paved path, the Long Lake Trail, but it seems like we got some serious incline going on right now.
And no pavement.
Yeah, no pavement, leaves. I mean, I like it. I'm pleased that it's not just a boring, super paved trail. I'm just checking, looking around to make sure I'm on the right trail. I think we are though. I saw a bike one coming from somewhere too. I'm guessing they came from here, but this doesn't seem like much of a bike trail. But this is already worlds harder than the short little loop we did probably about 30 minutes ago now. This is way harder. Pretty cool though. I'd say we already walked up about 100 feet maybe.
So we accidentally went on the wrong trail. This is very steep, as you may be able to see. We came from all the way down there. This is the Goddard McKever. I would guess McKever Trail. It is yellow blazes, and we are trying to stick to the multi-purpose trail that they have here at the park. We're trying to get to the dam, and this does not bring us to the dam, so...
It might bring us to the dam. I'm not really... It looked like it passed right by there.
A little bit, yeah. It looks like it, there's some overlap there, but overall not the trail that we are intending to take today. So we're heading down now. So we are back down, and we are now on the road. Some parts of this trail are on the road, as you can see. So don't know how long this is gonna last. It's a lot colder down here.
So one cool thing we just learned is that any bird that pretty much lives on the water is called a waterfowl. And waterfowls actually spend most of their time in the summer breeding in Canada and Alaska. And it's really not until the wintertime where they start coming down through Pennsylvania. And it seems like they have 4 major flyways, and they usually stick to the coast, or they seem to go right through the Great Lakes region. And Pennsylvania just happens to be one of those stops along the way. So we have officially made it to the dam. And would you look at this over here, there's a ton of people parked underneath.
If you look to the right, you can see the Goddard McKever Trail.
Exactly the one that we did not mean to go on. So I guess they both lead you right out to the dam over here, which is pretty cool.
Looks like you cannot get to the dam unless you swim for it.
No, the dam's on the right.
Oh. I don't know what that block is.
Okay, so we have just finished section 1 to the dam, and we are headed back now. So now I'm going to give my summary of this portion of the multi-use trail. Now I'm going to start with what I would give it out of 10, and I would say that from section 1 to the dam on the multi-use trail is probably like a 3 out of 10. What about you?
That's interesting. That's kind of funny. I think we were discussing this, and at the time I was thinking 5 out of 10, but I'm guessing for you it really went down the longer we kind of spanned this road. So I could feel that. I could say same.
3 out of 10.
Yeah, it was definitely higher for me in the beginning, but then it became a drag walking alongside the road.
Yeah. My favorite part about the trail was it is lakeside, and you also get to see some really nice streams on the right when you're walking down. Also, the dam is pretty cool. It really opens up around there, but it's still really cold, and now my face is also starting to go numb again, even though it's 67 degrees out today. But the lake is really pretty. It's partially frozen right now. Looks really cool. So that's what I liked about it.
Yeah. Favorite part would also be the fact that it's lakeside. Like, that's the whole reason we stuck on it instead of the Goddard. Yeah, I didn't expect that it would be entirely road.
Well, that's what I was going to say is what I dislike about the trail. So I think it's pretty good besides the fact that it's on the road. So when we were driving along it, because you have to drive, like I said, 15 minutes to hit the the ramp number 1. And you can see other portions of this multi-use trail where it's like a very slim piece of trail that just kind of goes through the woods, and there's no cars on there. But from the entire portion from boat launch 1 to the dam, it is entirely road, and we must have seen about 15 cars. Luckily it's not crazy, but it's still uncomfortable walking a trail when there's a road and cars right there.
Yeah, that would be my least favorite as well. Mm-hmm. Walking alongside the road. It also was very windy, very cold. Now it is I think a high of 66 today?
67.
67. Yeah. It is a high of 67. You're not going to feel that at all, at least right now. You can see behind us the lake is just frozen over. I think in the beginning we would have been closer to recommending this, but I think unless you have a bike, this is not really that fun.
Yeah, this used to be a bike trail. I would recommend that if you're gonna come to this park, Maurice K. Goddard State Park, you should do the Falling Run Trail, and you should also potentially do the Goddard McKeever Trail. Now I know part of it is closed right now due to construction or some issues they have because of ownership. Like half of the trail is owned by here, half of it is owned by some other people. But I would probably recommend that over this part of the multi-use trail. So that's gonna wrap things up. Anything else to say?
And that's everything from me.
All right.